I'm super excited today. We are launching a new product that is very close to my heart. I absolutely love this device. Being a provider of sports medicine services and for instant pain relief here at the Kivik Kinetic Solutions facility, we have been using this device for several months in testing, and the results that we are getting are just phenomenal. You don't have to hire somebody like me in order to get these results at home, because now you can bring home the CryoFrost Compression System, which can be used on most of the joints of the body, the knee, the shoulder, the foot, ankle, the elbow, in order to provide therapeutic services at home, whether it's following a total knee replacement or an ankle sprain or foot surgery, or if you've got to ice down the shoulder. There's so many different things that you can do with this new device that I'm super excited about. Again, it's called the CryoFrost Compression System. And it all comes packed in this carry tote that you can take with you from one place to another. You're going to find as we continue to explode in the athletics arenas and in everyday movement, exercise, again, a lot of people are going through different types of surgery in the form of wellness and just longevity of health. And as we are going through and doing some of these different activities, in past, there have been other systems that are cryocompression systems that require you to use ice and water and a cooler with a lot of tubes and attachments. And so today, Lifepro is launching a new product that you can use at home with no extra water or ice or any of that side of things. It's just very, very convenient and very cost effective for pain relief, whether you are doing it for preventative purposes or whether you're doing it for acute treatment or for pain relief. So that being said, I want to get right on into here. I've got my friend Chelsea here. She works with me with some of my clients and patients when it comes to sports medicine. And so we're going to actually use her to demonstrate how this device works. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and I'm seeing some individuals that are chiming in today, so I'm super excited to see you. What I want you to know, good news today, is we're actually giving one of these models away. And so what I want to know from you is some of your aches and pains that you're going to use this for when you win this prize, and we send it to you. What's the first thing that you can't wait to use it for when you get it in your home? Whether it's an ankle sprain, or whether it's plantar fasciitis on the bottom of the foot, Achilles tendonitis on the back of the ankle. If you've got elbow issues or shoulder issues, there's so many different things you can use this for. But I want to know, what are you going to use it for relief or for prevention in your home? And what do you need to hear from me today in order to know how to use it? One of the things I'm going to put Chelsea through here, after we demonstrate how it all works together, is I'm going to show you how you can do exercises while you're using it so that you can continue to improve in how your body works and thrives in repairing itself, all while minimizing pain. So without further ado, again, if you could make sure when you are listing what you're going to use it for at home, I want you to also put hashtag CryoFrost. That's CryoFrost. And my ladies backstage are going to post that in the comments section. So if you just want to copy and paste with your comment as to how you're going to use it. This is, again, when we did the video commercials for this, so you can look it up on YouTube and on Amazon. You're gonna see that we did these commercials several months ago. So I've been using this in my sports medicine facility since, and it is truly one of my absolute favorite devices that Lifepro has launched in the last, launched ever, really. I'm super excited to have this available for myself, but also on loaner to all my clients to be able to take home. So hashtag CryoFrost and what you are going to use it for when you receive it, when you win. If you're interested in ordering, we're going to post a link in which you can order directly through the link that we're posting, and it's going to give you the rock bottom dollar price, which today is $189.99. This normally sells with Lifepro for $249.99, but today, and for a limited time only, we are releasing it as part of our new introductory launch price for $189.99. Now, I have used devices very similar to this in years past, for the last several years. I've been in the sports medicine business for over 20 years, And we have used very similar devices, some of them more large, elaborate in size, some of them more messy, heavier to carry around. So you can spend anywhere from $300 to $1,500 for the same unit, something very similar. But today, $189.99. So hashtag CryoFrost, and what are you going to use it for at home if you win it, okay? And before we're done today, we will definitely make sure that we release who is the lucky winner for the day, so that you're not left hanging. We're going to make sure you know who the winner is today. I don't get to pick that, by the way. So as much as I would love to pick every single one of you, Lifepro gets to pick it, so it's completely unbiased, okay? All right. So how are we today, Chelsea? She just totally got thrown into this moment, so she doesn't know it's coming. Anyhow, we've got the CryoFrost, and it comes, this is what they refer to as their foot ankle attachment. Okay, so again, whether it's for speeding up your workout or your sports recovery, whether it's using it for pre-workout, whether it's for chronic pain or post-surgical recovery, or just maybe you are having aches and pains from an ankle sprain from years or decades ago, the change of the weather changes how the fluid moves in our joint spaces. And so we can feel a little more discomfort when we don't see it coming. You don't have to have an injury. You just might feel uncomfortable because of the pressure in our joints. This is one of the many things that you can do in order to help with minimizing the pain and maximizing the recovery. What I'm showing you here, again, is the ankle cuff. And everything comes enclosed in this nice handy carry bag. And then we also have the thigh knee cuff, okay? And so again, you can use this for a variety of different areas, locations on the body. It's not limited to just the thigh. We're gonna go through a lot of those details here right now. So again, there's your carry case, not too heavy, and it does have air vents in the bottom. So if you are a stinky, sweaty athlete and you're coming off of going to the gym, or you've just finished your race and you're nasty and all the bacteria, and then you go to put one of these on and you don't have time to wash it out, the good news is we've got breathing vents in the bottom of the bag, so you don't have to worry about mold and bacteria and all that good stuff like developing on the inside than if it was nice and sealed and contained. So very, very cool crafted bag for all of the wonderful things you can carry around, and there's extra space inside if you need to throw some bottles of water or some compression sleeves, things like that. All right, so there's the bag. Now on our unit here, and we're gonna bring our handy dandy charger over here. On our unit, we have our control panel here, okay? And on the control panel, we've got, I'm gonna bring this up and close in person. We have our power button here. And if we go on off, it's gonna light up. There we go. And so we have, we've got the ankle wrap, we've got the thigh wrap, and we've got five intermittent intensity levels. And all of this is measured by millimeters of mercury, which is very similar to blood pressure cuffs, okay? The max time to being able to use this is about 5 hours. It takes about 8 hours to charge 100%. So you heard me right, charge, which means we don't have to have it plugged in order for it to work. I obviously did not charge this over the last several days that I've used it. So we are going to be using it today with everything plugged in. Now, what is really cool that Lifepro has already thought about is on the back side of this control unit, we have a battery compartment here. These use rechargeable batteries, and so you can buy those separate. Those do not come with the Lifepro CryoFrost. You have to buy those separate, but you can install batteries in here so that wherever you go with your batteries in your control panel, you don't have to have the plug in order to use it. But anyhow, it holds the charge. It takes 8 hours to charge, runs for 5 hours. You can run 2 treatments at the same time. So if you're wanting to run the ankle and the knee cuff at the exact same time, you can run it at the same time. So you can run it with 2 people. We've got a lot of portability, and then with the 5 different intensity levels, we go from 20 millimeters of mercury all the way to 100 millimeters of mercury, depending on how much pressure you're wanting to feel. So not only are you getting cold therapy, but you're getting compression therapy. So if you don't want cryotherapy, or cryo means cold, if you're not wanting the cold therapy, then you can just use the compression therapy like itself. So if you already have some of our air compression boot systems, or we've got the Thrive boots, we've got the Axis boots. If you love the feeling of that, but you're wanting the portability and the use of using the cryo or the cold therapy at the same time, the CryoFrost is combining all of that together. As you remember, the Axis air compression boots are full sleeve that go all the way up to the hip and thigh. And then our Thrive boots, we've got some that only cover the lower part of the leg, and then we've got some that come up to mid-thigh. The nice thing about this is we are providing the 2 separate cuffs so that we've got one for our different appendage, and we've got another for another area of our body if you choose to use it both at the same time. If you don't want to use them at the same time, then you can stow one away and just use it as you need it. So it's not one of those products that you have to have right now for an injury. You can order it now so that if or when you sustain that unexpected injury, you've already got everything at home in order to treat yourself without having to go to a physical therapist or an athletic trainer or a physician or chiropractor in order to help with having the technology at home. Okay, with circulation, the question came up, will it help with circulation? Yes, it does. It helps to drive inflammation out, and it helps to drive circulation in. So you don't have the ability to drive the pump in one specific direction or another. With the Axis boots, you have the ability to change in which direction the compression flows, working kind of like a pump. This is going to inflate all together at the same time, which is going to help in squeezing any kind of inflammation or fluid out of the joint. And once you're doing that, then once you have the decompression, the blood is able to fill back into those spaces and actually integrate into the areas that need work or need healing, because you're getting the gunk and the lymph out of those joints. So it's a win-win in being able to circulate in and out, getting the junk out, getting the happy flow in. All right. So, and then you're going to have the handy dandy user manual, so you have all these different things. Yes, it is definitely a game changer for plantar fasciitis. I'm glad that you mentioned plantar fasciitis. What I want you guys to remember, and they don't have the link backstage to be able to post this, but if you go to YouTube and you type in Amber Lifepro foot or Amber Lifepro plantar fasciitis, there are at least 3 videos there of all of my tips, tricks, and secrets on how to heal plantar fasciitis from the convenience of your home. In other words, you don't have to pay me to teach you how to do some of these things when you're at home. And I've got a 95% success rate on treating plantar fasciitis within 1 to 3 visits. So majority of my clients come in who have had plantar fasciitis for weeks, months, or years even, and they've been through the physical therapy, they've been to see the chiropractor, they've been to see the podiatrist, they've got the insoles, and I have a very exclusive set of exercises that I have learned from one of the top podiatrists in the world and have created my own barefoot program. So you can find all of that information for free if you go to the Lifepro YouTube site, and you'll find it'll say Lifepro Amber plantar fasciitis. There'll be 3 videos there of how you can use an accumulative of all of the Lifepro products to eliminate your plantar fasciitis at home for free of seeing a licensed professional like myself. And so the most important thing for us is trying to enable you to be able to treat yourself at home versus having to depend on us, because there's only so many of us and so many hours, and it's more convenient for you to do everything at home, which is what we're going to want you to do anyways. So let's move on. Okay, why don't you go ahead and bring your legs out here in front. I'm going to show you how this all works. We are going to start with her Piggly Wigglies and her foot ankle. And like I said, you can use this with or without the non-toxic gel pack. What makes this different is it comes with these non-toxic gel wraps, okay? So can you heat this up? Yes, you can, but don't use your microwave to do it. If you have access to a heating pad that you can wrap this in a heating pad, it is not made necessarily to submerge into water. But if you have a heating pad like we have here, you can blanket this in a heating pad. This will heat up because it's gel. And then what's nice about it is we have the actual cuff, which is attached to the air chamber. There's your air chamber tube, okay? And if you see the shape of this cuff, it's actually made for a foot ankle, okay? but we can configure this to fit a lot of different things, which I'm going to show you here on Chelsea. All right, so we're going to go ahead. You're going to see on what is labeled the ankle cuff, you're going to see that there's all these different Velcro attachments. And Velcro is a love-hate relationship because if it gets in your way, it is really hard to work with. So you have to be a little creative. But there's all the little attachment points for our Velcro. And it kind of just works like a puzzle. You just take the Velcro of the non-toxic gel wrap and you position it in there however you need in order to make it fit, okay? And there's no right or wrong way on how to do it, but these gel packs carry a little bit of weight, which is nice, because you're gonna be able to apply that to your treatment. But we just position it in there just like that. Okay, I just laid it on there and it automatically seals itself. And then probably the best thing to do is on the bottom, if we're putting this on a foot ankle, on the bottom, we're gonna close that up to create the bottom of the foot. So right here is gonna be the bottom of the plantar fascia or the bottom of the sole of the foot. And so with Chelsea, you don't have to raise your leg, you don't have to do anything. You just have to put your leg out there. So scooch back just a little bit so we got your, there we go, perfect. Okay, now we're gonna pretend like Chelsea has just sprained her ankle and she's not feeling so hot. And so we're just gonna slide her on in there. We're gonna position her foot, her heel to the very back. So she wants to be able to feel the very back here at the bottom with her heel. From here, because we are trying to work swelling from the distal part of the body to proximal part of the body, from ground to the heart, okay, we're going to want to seal this from the furthest part of our body closer to the body, okay? And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on loosely because when this starts to air up, and remember, these non-toxic gel wraps, we keep them in the freezer. So instead of using ice or using ice bags or using water or a refrigerated device with water, we're keeping these gel packs in our freezer at home, whether it's a deep freeze or whether it's a refrigerated freezer. You're going to keep it in the freezer before you put it in here in order to get the cryo effect, okay? And then we're going to strap the top on, and we've got it all positioned on there just right, okay? So I'm going to give you an up close and personal look so that you can see what this looks like, okay? So we've got, there's the front. Here is how it looks on top, okay? And you'll see that this isn't a zipper and there's no extra strap here. This is wide open. This is her sock right here, okay? So we open, and you don't have to strap it closed tight. You just have to seal it, okay? And so I'm going to bring you back around so that you can see. And there it is at the bottom. So it's sealed here at the bottom. And this is the foot strap. And then this is the cord that attaches to the control panel, okay? So we want to make sure that everybody can see how that all comes together so that you know all the benefits and the ways that you can use it. All right, so we're always going to start on a low level setting, okay? And so for her, we're going to go ahead and power on, okay? You're going to see the power on button. You're going to see the P1, the P2, and the time. The P1 means that we're using channel 1. P2 means we're using channel 2. So you don't have to choose P2 or P1 specifically. You just pick one. And the bottom of this, okay, we're going to go P1 just because that just sounds good at the moment. No rhyme or reason. We're going to put that on the bottom. We're going to screw it so that it's nice and sealed. Okay, it doesn't come off. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Okay, so we're turning on. Now we're on. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer so that you can see this. Okay, so we've got control panels on. I'm going to go P1. And right now it is set up for 20 millimeters of mercury, which is low level setting. If I push it again, it's going to increase it to 40, to 60, to 80, and it maxes out at 100. 100 is a lot of pressure. Imagine a blood pressure cuff that is inflated up to 100 millimeters of mercury. So let me knock that out before Chelsea has to suffer with 100. And then we have the option of changing our time, okay? And this is what's really cool. The time goes all the way up to 1 hour and 20 minutes. I remember that right. Let's see. No, it goes all the way up to 2 hours. Okay, so you can wear this for up to 2 hours at a time, and it automatically will cycle through the pressure point at whatever level you set, and then you just leave it freestanding. So it's quite convenient. Now, Chelsea's got this on. I want her to be able to describe to you what she is feeling because she has never seen this before. She's never felt this before. And I don't know that you've ever really had a foot ankle injury. No. Just plantar fasciitis. Oh, she has had the plantar fasciitis. So I'm going to let her tell you, what can you describe what you're feeling?
Cold and very light compression.
Cold and light compression. Yeah. And what does the light compression, is that a feel good, or is it aggravating, or is it painful, or is it relieving?
I think it needs to be like a little bit tighter.
Needs to be tighter. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to push the P button until you find it automatically increases in pressure. So we're at 60, which is moderate level of pressure. Okay. Now what do you feel?
Getting tighter.
Getting tighter, okay? Tighter and colder, right? So you have the ability to change the intensity of the cold by how much compression and how tight you pack it on there. Okay, and as you're feeling, you have the ability to adjust this. If it becomes too tight up top, you just unstrap, and as you can feel, it's inflating even faster. But you can adjust it to whatever tightness you need to in order to make it more comfortable for you. It is a very personal, individualized experience. And it's showing us right now that we're getting 80 millimeters of mercury pressure. So right now she is at max pressure for the way that she has set this. And you're seeing it fluctuate back down. So it's decreasing in pressure. And we're going right back up in pressure. So it's just high-low pressure back and forth in a cyclic manner to be able to pump all of the junk out of the bottom and being able to allow for new circulation to flow in as the pressure drops back down. So pressure goes up, we push and pump out, pressure drops, we circulate back in. That's how that works. Okay. Now, let's say that you don't like cold, right? Let's say you don't like cold. And so instead of having cold, you just want the compression. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and tap out of this. So now we're back down to 0. And I'm going to have you remove the cuff. I just want you to see how easy this is. Like I said, I'm a professional, so I've been using this kind of equipment for quite some time. She's never seen this before, so I want her to be able to demonstrate to you just how simple and user-friendly everything is. Yes, you're exactly right. This would be awesome to use after a long hike. So that's another thing. Being that it's a new year and it's a new you, if you don't have an injury and if you're wanting to win the CryoFrost compression system, what are some activities that you absolutely love to do that this would be beneficial for using immediately before or immediately after? Because again, you can use it for speeding up your workout when it comes to recovery or for sports recovery. So you can use it to warm up. You can use it to calm down and recover. You can use it pre-workout to enhance performance. We can soothe chronic pain. We can, if you're standing on your legs for a long day, I know a lot of you are healthcare practitioners that are working in hospitals long hours with all of the sick patients that are coming in. You're on your feet, long hours, not able to catch a break. Wouldn't it be awesome to come home and be able to elevate your feet in the chair and put that on for just to pamper your foot with some cold or with some warm? Again, it's not something to be heated and microwave, but if you have a heating pad, you can blanket it into a heating pad, and I can demonstrate that here in just a second. But now that Chelsea's got the cryo wrap out of there, now we can do it without the gel pack. So I'm going to go ahead and have you go ahead and start with the pressure by pushing P1. I'm going to go grab that heating pad so you guys can see how I would blanket it. So we have our heating pad. And this is one you can get on Amazon, you can get it from a medical provider, but this is a commercial steam pack heating pad that is remote control operated. So you can actually heat it up before you insert it, but you just take the heating pad and you open it up flat, and then you can take the ankle cuff and lay it in like such. And now we've got it heating, okay, and you can see the cup is in there. You can heat it, and then once it gets warm, then you can position it into the actual cup itself, the wrap. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use it, but you can heat it. You just don't microwave it, don't submerge it into hot water. Make sure that you use a heating pad in order to blanket it. So blanket it, meaning like such. And again, that's just kind of one of my Amber hacks and how I use it. It's not made to do that, but that's how I'm using it as a multitasking product for the different outcome goals that we're trying to achieve. What do you feel?
It feels really good.
Feels really good. And now you got plantar fasciitis, and you don't have any kind of an injury, but is that a relaxing, calming feeling?
Yeah, I like it better than the boots.
She likes them better than the boots. Why?
Because I feel like the boots get too tight almost,
Okay.
and it restricts me from being able to move or do anything, and it's hard for me to sit still.
Okay, so she gets antsy if she has to sit in the same spot for a long period of time. So if you have the access boots that come all the way to the thigh, when they start constricting and compressing, you're kind of stuck in a lounger or in a chair on the floor. And at least with this, we can continue to move. So that being said, while you are experiencing the compression, all I want you to do is move your Piggly Wigglies. Because what do Piggly Wigglies do when they move? What are they working towards? We're pushing pressure. We're using the action, the exercise of actually moving the toes like a pump and pushing any kind of inflammation up with the CryoFrost. And the other thing that is really good is if you've got plantar fasciitis a lot of times mean that there's a lot of compaction, a lot of compression going on in the bottom of the foot. And so being able to actively move while relaxing and cold allows those intrinsic foot muscles, which only exist inside the foot. They don't exist in the lower leg. Those are your extrinsic foot muscles. But if you can activate the Piggly Wiggly toes and get them to start working like a pump motion, along with the CryoFrost pump action, it's a win-win in doubling the effect and recovering faster. So you can turn around. Some individuals recover from plantar fasciitis in a week. Some people it takes months. Sometimes it's years. But if you can imagine being able to use some of these exercises for treating plantar fasciitis at home and working with the exercises and the compression, then you're going to speed up that recovery time much, much faster. And can you, since we're not enclosed top on the ankle, she's not restricted, there's nothing strapping her down. If you've got an ankle injury and you have a lot of pain with moving the ankle without the cold, once you get the cold on, guess what? Now we can move our ankle doing what I call gas pedals. And gas pedals means you're pushing down on the gas and then you're pulling off the gas, and we're pushing on the gas and pulling off the gas. And in doing that, we're getting the one motion that we lose first with any kind of an injury, and that is what is called dorsiflexion. So dorsiflexion is the first thing you lose when you blow out the ankle. So we're able to work in getting that motion back while controlling pain using compression and cryotherapy. So it is a win all the way around. Now we only set the timer to go for 10-15 minutes, so it automatically kicked itself off. And if you don't automatically set the timer, it has an auto start it has an automatic shut off of 30 minutes. So if you forgot to set the timer, it'll automatically kick off after 30 minutes. All right, let's go ahead and take that off. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. So it's super easy to remove that. Okay, so we got that part done. Easy peasy. Now, let's have a feel for your elbow. Okay, so we're going to take the same cuff, the same wrap, that we just used on the ankle, and now we can use it on the elbow, okay? And so how we're gonna do this, I'm actually gonna undo the bottom, okay? And then we're gonna make sure that the cord is out of the way. Okay, go ahead and relax there. Yep, there you go. So we're gonna go, so if you've got tennis elbow, you got some carpal tunnel that you're trying to ice, okay? You can do all of that conveniently with this cup. Now, it's not gonna contour the same way, but can you bend, let's do this, actually, my creative thinking here. Again, Velcro can be a love-hate relationship sometimes. Let's try this. Put that there. There we go. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. You just have to get creative. When it comes to the elbow, we want the bend of the elbow free and open so that we're not constricting on it. Okay, so can you bend your elbow? Ah, there you go. So it's on, okay? Now, we have a piece here that's not strapped anywhere, and that's okay. We can actually tuck that under and just let it lay flat, okay? So again, I'm gonna bring you around so that you can see how I just did that, okay? And so here with her arm, okay, she's got the ankle, the front of the ankle would be right here. The bottom of the foot would be right here. And we just put the straps on together wherever we can fit them, all right? So it's not made to go on the elbow, but that's Amber's way of hacking a product, being able to use it in a multitude of different ways so that we're getting the biggest bang out of the buck. Okay, so the trick here is the test is gonna be to see how you feel with it on your elbow. And so we're gonna power on, and you gotta push and hold for about 3 seconds. Boom, we're on, okay. Now, we're going to push, which channel are we attached to?
1.
We're attached to P1, so we're going to use the P1 button, okay? And light pressure is always best to start with light pressure to see how your body handles it. And then if you need more pressure, all you got to do is push the P1 button again, and you're going to see the pressure continue to rise. What are you feeling?
Just feeling that way. I don't feel anything yet.
Okay, so it's inflating a little bit. We're going up to 6 millimeters of mercury because the high pressure right now is 20. So if we set the high pressure to be 100, she'd already be at like 40 or 60 pressure right now. So it's a great product in that you can explore what is going to feel most comfortable for you, because what you can tolerate as an individual versus what I can tolerate is going to be totally different. What are you feeling?
I'm feeling it getting a little bit tighter, but I think it needs to go up 1.
Okay, so let's go ahead and push that P1. Now we're going to go up to 40. It's going to automatically start airing up. There we go. Now we're at 20. Quickly approaching 30. And you can actually see that the cup is expanding and moving. And how do you feel with that with pressure?
Good.
Okay. And again, if she wants elbow cryo, then we would put the cryo on the elbow. Okay. Hand and wrist. Yes. So the hand and wrist is going to work better with the other cuff, and I'll show you how that works here in just a second. Ah, she said it feels really good on the forearm. So yes, there you go. Okay, so we're up to max pressure right now for how she had it set. Okay, and all is good, yeah? Okay, so if she's just wanting to relax in the evening, proper elbow up, trying to ice down before we go to bed at night, which is when our body tends to repair itself, but it's also when we get stiff. So if we get stiff when we lay down to sleep, if we are doing cryo at the same time of compression, and we want to pump the hand in order to keep the muscles flowing and pumping that energy up and into the shoulder so that we're able to recirculate, that's how you're going to pump in and flow back and forth properly. Yeah? Okay, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and turn off. Okay, so that's that one. Now, the other way that you can use this, believe it or not, this is not made to go on the knee, but let's say you've got a hamstring injury. Let's say that the back of your leg back here is sore. So go ahead and lengthen your leg out there for me. And in order to deflate this, I'm going to go ahead and unplug it. That's the quick way to deflate it if it doesn't process through, is you can unplug the channel, the compression channel, because it's just using air to inflate and provide compression. Biceps tendonitis. Yes, that is correct that you can use for biceps tendonitis and for moving the whole extremity. Go ahead and swing around straight. So just bring your legs out straight in front of you. There you go. Now what we're going to do here is we're just going to lay like that. And creatively, this is the fun part. This is where oh, you're good. This is where we got to figure out creatively how everything's going to fold up. Okay. Now, again, this is more related for the ankle. So the challenge that we have here is the Velcro is positioned strategically for an ankle or an elbow. But I'm going to show you if for some reason the thigh cuff does not fit the way you want it to, we can improvise and make a lot of different things work. Okay. So there's the bottom. So I went from, this is normally, this part right here on the bottom would normally be on the bottom of the foot. So we're just going to wrap, okay, lightly. And then from here, we're just going to position however it lays, okay? And so we have the knee enclosed, we have the hamstring enclosed, but we're not putting it on so tight like a vice grip that she can't move around. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and power on. Let's go power up. Let's just do 60 because it's fast. And it's just, oh, I didn't plug this back in. We got to plug that back in. Hold up here. Yeah, so the machine will run even if the tube is not plugged in. But if the tube's not plugged in, you don't get anything, huh? Okay, if you have any questions, make sure that you post. Yes, this does work for knee injuries. So if you've had a total knee replacement, if you've had a meniscus repair, patella tendonitis, dislocated kneecap, MCL, LCL sprain, just osteoarthritis in general, this will work for the knee. However, this is not the official knee cuff. We have another cuff that works as well for the knee, but I'm just showing you how you can use the ankle cuff for a variety of different locations just besides the ankle. We're using the ankle cuff on the knee, and you're not getting a whole lot of compression on top, but you should be getting a lot of compression behind the knee. So if you're one who doesn't want to feel any pressure on the kneecap, but you really want that compression and that circulation and that cryo, is that cold therapy on the bottom, this is an easy way to do it without having to enclose everything, right? Okay, so we would be here all day if I went through every single one of these protocols. So I'm just going to give you a quick glimpse on how these can work for some different areas. Now, shoulder. Oops, we're stuck. Again, that Velcro can be a real pain in the rear sometimes. Okay, now shoulder. We can use this on the shoulder. You got to bear with me here for just a second while I creatively get things positioned. If we're having rotator cuff pain here on the front, let's try this. Yes. Gosh, it happened so quick. I love it. Okay, now I do not have the cryo gel wrap in here. So once we get that in there, that kind of changes things, but we're going to strap that across there. And then, so if we're trying to get here at the top of the rotator cuff, we just got to make sure that we slide this up a little bit higher, closer to the body, and strap on in like that. So I'm going to bring you around so you can see how I've done this. We've used the ankle wrap to do this for the shoulder. And again, this is probably not something that Lifepro had in mind, but I like to hack into everything so that we can multitask and use one device for a variety of different things. And being in the sports medicine field and working with all these injuries on a daily basis for 20 years, I have learned how to engage and work with what I have versus having to buy something for every little thing. And so it just kind of happens. But this is an easy way that you can use it for other areas. And so here's our shoulder cuff. So this is the ankle cuff that's repurposed for shoulder. So normally this would be the bottom of the foot going right here. This would be where the ankle up top with the lower leg, the piggly wigglies would be coming out of here. And this is just repurposed. So if you raise your arm up for me, and armpit is right here. So she's actually getting some compression there around the shoulder joint. And then take you to the back side so you can see the back. So she's fully enclosed. So you don't have to buy a separate wrap. But I will tell you, we don't make a wrap for the shoulder. So if you're wanting it for the shoulder, you have to figure out a way to use what we've already got. Let's go ahead and just continue that. What I want to do, I want to put this cold gel wrap inside. So, because I know that there's so many of you that are going to use this on your shoulder because it's awesome. So we're going to show you how is it just me or is she really learning fast? Because she's never used this before and she just like cranking out like all the different stuff. Like she's been using it for months. So yes, it's very, very user friendly is my point there. Awesome. Okay, now go ahead and flatten that out. Which side is up? Which side do we have up right now? Just for the audience purpose.
This
It's
is
labeled.
That's the bottom.
This is the bottom. Now, this is the gel wrap side because it says ankle here on the inside. And if we turn it over, the CryoFrost tag is always going to be on the outside, okay? So if we turn it over, we are going to strategically position the wrap. So here's our gel wrap that we have kept in the freezer. And again, there's no right or wrong way on how to do this because it has the different Velcro straps that coordinate with here. But what I'm going to find is if you happen to position it in upside down or right side up, it's still going to work. So don't worry about if you mess that up. And so if we go, actually, we'll go this way because we're following in line with our, like that. Okay, so here's the gel wrap attached. I didn't have to push or clip anything in. You just lay down and Velcro to Velcro like seals the deal. Okay, so, and we are attached, right? Okay, so go ahead and relax your arm. And we're gonna go like this. Go ahead and bring your arm up. There we go. Oh, I think I might have had that upside down. Let's try this again. So again, there's no right or wrong way. I'm just, however I can get everything to fit. There we go. So if I leave it like this, then I'm strapping it down here at the bottom. If I flip it over, so the cord is at the top, okay, then I have to strap underneath like such. But the nice thing is it's just, I had to secure one strap in order to get it to stay right where it's at. So that's one way to do it. If we turn it the other side around, like this, okay, again, just bringing the strap underneath and securing there. And then we've got all these other straps that are exposed. It still stays put, okay? Or if we go like this, let's see. So like I said, it's just kind of like a big puzzle. You're good at puzzles if I remember right.
Yeah.
If we wanted to put it on like this, so it's covering the whole length of the arm, look at that. And if you lay down, you might have to hold, well, that's not gonna work. So see, it's kind of a trial and error. It's kind of puzzle piecing. But I think the way that we started, do you enjoy having the cord closer to you or away from you? Your choice. Away from me. She doesn't want the cord anywhere near her neck. So there we go. So we're gonna put the cord near the bottom of the hand. And here, we're gonna go ahead and strap it up. Okay, and this strap here is gonna go through the armpit and is gonna secure right here on the chest. So the top, which is where the feet would normally be, the bottom of the foot, the top is open, which actually provides all of the space for this to be free. So go ahead and line it up. Okay, is there a protective cover or pouch for the gel pad for when it's stored in the freezer so it doesn't get punctured? Nope, it is already really thick as it's made. So when it comes to getting punctured, I would, what you can probably do is buy a jumbo size Ziploc baggie and you can slide it in there to protect it from other elements inside of your freezer. But the protective, or the gel pouch itself, the gel insert is really thick as it is. So it's not like an ice pack that you would go to the pharmacy and buy and refreeze back and forth. It's a totally different feeling. It feels, the pack is made more out of nylon with the gel coating inside, and you can feel it all. You can like mold it around and move it. So it's pretty cool. Oh, you need the charger, don't you? Yeah. See, it's my fault. I didn't charge it before we had this episode coming on, so. Can she figure out where it goes? Yay! So again, not meant to be used on the shoulder, but this is Amber's hack on how to use it on the shoulder. Okay, and so if you want to sit up, if you want to lay down, if you want to lay on your side, all different varieties of how you can use this. here's this. If you've got individuals in your family who play softball, basketball, baseball, volleyball, anything overhead, wouldn't this be awesome to have on the road with you? You can keep the gel pack in a freezer, like a cooler, not a freezer, but a cooler full of ice, because it's the gel inside that provides the cryo effect. So you're not using water and ice. You're not filling anything up with water and ice like traditional quote unquote cryo cuffs, okay? But we're just using,
And I feel it in my biceps.
she feels it in her biceps, she feels it in her shoulder. She has a daughter who has a pitching injury right now, so how awesome would that be for her?
I was just thinking that it would be good for her bicep.
Yeah.
For all of this after.
Cool.
I think it would really feel good for her.
So yes, a lot of athletes will ice down in between events. Oh, so sorry that we're frozen. A lot of athletes will ice down in between events so that they can work with not becoming inflamed with the intensity of their sport. And so this is just another thing you can do. You can use it with or without the non-toxic gel wrap. It's just a matter if you decide that you want to use for compression or if you want for cryo compression combined. So, all right, so there's our shoulder. Okay, now guess what? We have bonus round here because we have a whole nother wrap we haven't showed you yet. So you get two wraps. You get a shoulder, not shoulder. You get, it's labeled as an ankle wrap. So foot ankle wrap, and you also get a sleeve that can be worn for full arm, for leg, a lot of different areas. So if you've got shin splints, if you've got a track athlete or if you are a runner and you regularly have shin splints, this next cuff is going to be a great one for that purpose. So let's go ahead and start demonstrating that. So here is the other sleeve that comes with, and of course it can be used, as you can see what I'm going to do with her, you can use it for an assortment of different things. Now this one's not been in the freezer, and the gel is still cold. So you don't have to put it in the freezer if you don't have a freezer accessible or don't have room in the freezer. You can put it in your refrigerator. Make sure you put it in a Ziploc baggie first so that they make really, really big Ziploc bags. Make sure you put it in a baggie first to protect it from other elements that might be in your appliance.
Or just outside.
Or just outside if you don't want to be outside with it getting wet. So here is they call this the thigh cuff. And again, Velcro. There we go. Some hardcore Velcro. Okay, so there is our thigh cuff. Okay, and Velcro is on the other side, and you can see it's not heavy, but it's not like feather light either. Okay, and each one of these channels is compartmented. Okay, each one of these channels is compartmented. So it has gel in this pouch. It's going to have gel in this pouch, separate amount of gel in this pouch. So somebody asked me about puncture earlier. If for some reason that your gel wrap gets punctured, you're only going to leak out of that one little spot. Okay, you're only going to see out of that one little spot. Hey, give me thumbs up if you can see and hear me, because I'm seeing that some people are having some challenges. Can you all give me a thumbs up if you can see and hear me? As I'm seeing that I might have a frozen screen, but it's all good on my end. So if we have to restart and jump back in, we will. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear and see me. Okay. Okay, so we've got somebody who can only hear, but everybody else can see and hear. So those of you who are at home who can't see, you might refresh your screen or you might log out and log back in. I'm hoping that everybody can see and hear. So give me some extra thumbs up. Natalie, thank you for checking in. We've got some other Facebook users. Let me know if you can see and hear, and if not, then we'll refresh our end. Anyhow, we've got each one of these has little. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Lori. We've got all these different separate compartments. So if you do puncture, you're only puncturing and damaging potentially one little area. But hey, since you mentioned, what do we know about Lifepro?
So much.
There's so much.
Great customer service.
Great customer service, limited lifetime warranty. So if you have trouble with your gel wrap, not working for you, reach out to customer service, support@lifeprofitness.com, and talk to them if you're having trouble. If for whatever reason the stitching comes apart, if the Velcro no longer sticks, if your gel pack starts to leak for whatever reason, reach out to our customer service team, because the thing I love about Joel and Abe with Lifepro is they provide superior customer service as a top priority. That's part of their values. And so that's one of the reasons why I love working for them is it has to be within my own energy bubble of my values, and customer service for me is a top priority for my people as well. So that's what I love about Lifepro. So if you're worried about whether it's going to fit or not, that being said, whether it fits or not, it'll fit 9.4 inches to 21 inches around without modifying. So that's just around the thigh. So there's a lot of versatility, especially with all of these cuffs, that you can put them in different places on the body, just based on how your body is shaped and aligned. But yes, they have phenomenal customer service, and that is rare nowadays. Anyhow, we've got our Velcro going in. And then on our actual thigh cuff, again, it is labeled to be a thigh, but you can use it for whatever you like. We've got 3 straps that we can work with. And the beauty with the cryo compression system is you don't have to use all the straps all the time. Oh, there's that Velcro, right? Okay, so works like a puzzle. Watch this. Drop. I didn't touch. And there we are. It's that simple. It's that simple. Now, if you want to puzzle piece it together, like you should, how the directions tell you, you can position it perfectly. So I would lay the ends on top, so you're only dealing with one piece of Velcro at a time, because again, it can be a real pain in the noggin. Okay, so we're going to seal that Velcro. We're going to lay it open and lay it open. Voila. Okay, now we got the puzzle piece put together. You like puzzles. That's her hobby. She loves to put together. How big was your last puzzle?
2,000 pieces.
2,000 pieces. That's kind of wild.
1,999.
Okay, that's a lot of patience. I don't know that I have that kind of patience to sit and put lots of colors together. Okay, so you got shin splints, okay?
My band, my IT
Oh, her IT band is flared up. Okay, let's do shin splints first.
Okay.
So we're going to start this at the base of the ankle, okay? And again, because we're trying to pump it up, we're going to seal from the bottom up, all right? So we're just going to loosely lay that, and we're going to seal, seal, boom, awesome. And raise your leg up for me. Oh my gosh, how heavy is that?
I mean, it's not super heavy, but there's some weight.
Goodness gracious, you know what else you can do? Is if you have a knee injury, what have we learned this week? Toes to nose, fire the quad, lift up. Boom. Total knee rehab, because we've added a cuff weight at the bottom. And though it doesn't weigh like 10 pounds, 4 pounds of an ankle cuff goes a long way to strengthening all the way up here. So toes to nose, straight up, back down. Okay, so that is one of the ways that we strengthen this main quadricep muscle called the VMO, the vastus medialis, all right? But we're not healing a knee today. We're going all about shin splints. But that's how you can use the piece for an extra purpose if you choose to. You can actually use it for resistance if you're trying to fix something up higher. Now, shin splints happens for a variety of different reasons. Most of the time it's impact and compression on the chambers inside the lower leg. So what we're going to do with the gel pack and the cryo on is we're going to go a compression of about, we'll go for a compression of about 40 to get started. And I want you to move your foot in your toes to nose, gas pedals. And in doing that, while she is experiencing the compression, now we're working the pump, because it's going to fill in most all those chambers. We've got one input, whereas the Access compression boots have 4 chambers. This just has one chamber that works throughout the whole cuff. So her doing gas pedals is going to help with strengthening the lower leg. It's also going to help with range of motion in the foot ankle joint, and it's also going to help in pumping lymph and edema through the lower leg. So if you're somebody who is suffering from lymphedema, you can use this in order to help pull that swelling out of there so that you can actually see your lower leg without having all that stretched pressure and inflammation. What do you feel?
Compression, and my ankle was like not cold, but it's like I can feel like
It's a soothing sensation.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and so is that too much compression?
No.
Okay, so let's go ahead and elevate. So we're gonna go to 80. I want to see what she feels when she does this. And again, we are giving away one of these CryoFrost compression systems to a lucky watcher. So I need you to put hashtag CryoFrost and whatever it is that you're excited to try into using it for. The other thing, if you've already posted below, if you want to post again, because they're going to choose somebody based on participation, if you will. You can also do Lifepro and whatever benefit that you're seeking out. Lifepro circulation, Lifepro pain relief, but hashtag Lifepro and then whatever you're looking for and the purpose behind or the outcome, the goals behind this product. And that helps me in making sure I can coach you or educate you in how to use this from my medical expertise for the greater good of your outcome.
This feels really good.
This feels really good. So you've experienced all the boots.
Yeah.
So this would be good if somebody has a lot of swelling down in the foot, but they just, restless leg syndrome. So that's a whole nother thing. If you're dealing with restless leg syndrome and you're just needing something in order to push you over the edge so that you can relax, you don't have to enclose the foot in this specific treatment. And having the cryo helps to calm. Cryo calms down intensity in tissue. A lot of times if tissues get too warm, it creates more inflammation and more pain. So if we're trying to decrease pain and decrease pressure and spasming in the lower leg, the cryo helps to shrink that down and calm the nerves and calm the neuroreceptors to the brain at the same time that it's providing the stimulation in the lower leg that it's seeking, and will shut those cramps and those spasms down. Awesome. So if you're not sure how to spell CryoFrost, CryoFrost. So cryo means cold, and frost is just our way of kind of putting our name out there to, create some extra attraction to the cryo. But CryoFrost compression system, if you're looking to shop, they're going to send you a link right now that you can buy direct through Lifepro. And these are also available on Amazon starting today. So what do you feel?
It feels really good.
Okay, here's our problem. Our problem is she's not going to want to take it off. And we're going to have to take it off to demonstrate another body part.
I want to move it
So
up.
we're going to move it up and try the IT band next. Okay, so let's go ahead and detach so we can deflate faster. So I just unattach the tube. Okay, and we're going to press it out of there, because if you have air in the cuff, it's really hard to get it to position elsewhere. Okay, so we're going to slide it up, and this time we're going to go knee enclosed. All right, if you're somebody who does not like having pressure on the kneecap, we're going to use one of my mental hacks here, and we're not going to close the middle one. We're going to leave it open, and we're going to close the top. So guess what? I have access. I can actually feel her kneecap, and we can actually open. Go ahead and bend. Oh my goodness, we're bending. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So now we have a leg cuff that's being used for the knee. The knee is exposed, so there's no pressure on the kneecap. If we have a dislocated kneecap, or we have Plantar Tendonitis where there's pain directly on the knee, guess what? Boom. Now we've got knee enclosed, right? Oh yeah. Love it. Okay, so here we go. Oh, but you don't want the kneecap. You just want to feel the IT band, okay? Little insight. You cannot stretch the IT band, but if for whatever reason we have more fluid in the knee joint, that's going to place more tension on the IT band, okay? Can you do both legs at once? Yes, if you buy 2 of the cuffs. We only include 1 cuff with the thigh and the ankle. So can you run an ankle on one or an ankle using the knee and then this one on the other? Yes, you sure can do that. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's light it up. Oh, you know what I did? I made a no-no mistake. You're not feeling anything, do you?
No, you put 2.
I attached this to the P2, but I pushed the P1. Not good. So we're gonna discontinue this because I pushed the wrong button. Okay, now we're gonna make sure we push the P2 because we're on the P2 channel down here. Okay, so what I mean by that, there is no difference between P1 and P2 programming. You get the exact same program whether you're using the P1 channel or the P2 channel. Whichever channel you choose is all based on where you attach the two at the bottom. This is the port for P1, this is the port for P2. I put it in the P2 port, but went to push the P1 button, not realizing that I wasn't connecting the two together. So if you have trouble with your system not working, we have to go back and make sure that we've got it attached to the button that we're trying to work with. And each time that you tap the button, so we're using the P2 channel, each time that you tap it, it changes in pressure. Okay? And so I'll show you here. We're gonna go ahead and now let's go ahead and have your Piggly Wigglies. We're gonna put the ankle cuff on at the same time so that we're getting a full length situation to answer the question being presented. There we go. So let's make sure we get the toes towards the nose, getting that heel all the way down in there. We're sealing from the toes up to the ankle. There we go. We are attaching the cable into the P1 port. And we're running. Is your P2 port running at the same time? Oh, there we go. Now we're running. Kind of. There we go. Running both ports at the same time is a little tricky. Okay. You should feel it airing up on P1, so the foot ankle. And I'm curious to see. It will not allow you to change settings on the channels at the same time. You have to choose one or the other to change the settings. But we're going to see if she can maintain pressure at the same time. I've actually not attempted to do this with two appendages or cuffs at the same time because we have not had the situation come up that we've needed to do that. But I've done it before with other options. Can you wear one and compress the other? Absolutely. You can wear one and turn one on. So are you feeling some pressure on this one, on the foot?
I did, yeah.
Okay, and drop back down because it got you in a low setting. Oh, okay, so now we're going to go to the knee. And let's see what we feel.
There, now both of them should be going at the same time. There.
It keeps diverting back to the P1. So let's try this one more time. That might be a small little thing that we're trying to work out the kinks. Like I said, I haven't tried this one yet before. Okay, so here's what we're figuring out. If you have P1 hooked up and you've got P2 on at the same time, it's always going to divert to P1 first. So if we are really wanting to use the knee more than the ankle cuff, right now her ankle cuff is compressing. Now she's feeling compression in P2. So here's the thing. You can't run both at the same time because the control panel is not meant to run both channels at the exact same time. But we have inflated here, and then it goes back and automatically starts filling up the other, okay? So she should be feeling the knee and the ankle is taking a break. She's still getting the compression and the cryo in the ankle. She's not getting the air exchange at the same time. The air exchange is diverted to the knee cuff. So when the knee cuff is completely done airing up at that 100 level that I've got her on, then when I go and put what I want in for the ankle, it'll divert back to, but it's always going to divert back to P1 versus P2 first. It's going to go synchronizing from P1 to P2 as opposed to P2, P1, if that makes sense. It can be kind of confusing. Okay, and now
it's going back to my foot.
So now we're using both at the same time, okay? It's a little tricky in trying to figure out how it works. And honestly, it's just us kind of figuring it out. Yes, you can program both, but they're not going to both work at the exact same time. It's got to channel back and forth. It's not made to work both simultaneously at the same time. Yeah? Cool. So yes, the answer is you can use two at the same time. They're just not going to change pressure at the same time because you've got only enough air pushing through both valves. So it's going to go back and forth. So not sure how this entry is to work. So this may be a repeat, but would use for the bicep rotator cuff and work my way down the arm to the trigger finger until an ankle. Yes, love it. And yes, in the summer, it may be as cheap as using an AC unit. You're exactly right. They are synchronizing, okay? It took us a little bit of time to let it figure out the synchrony, but you can set your max pressure, which is at 100 millimeters mercury. The lowest pressure is 20. It goes from 20 to 40 to 60 to 80 to 100, and then back to 0. So you can set the pressure for 1. It'll go ahead and inflate into that 1 first. And then after you have set the pressure for 2, it will automatically kick back into the P2 or this, whatever, however you have set it. And it will inflate the other, but it does not continue to work on the first at the same time. It has to work one at a time. And yes, the range is awesome. What I love about the range, so if you have the Axis compression boots, the Axis compression boots start at a level of 30, if I remember right, and go all the way up to like 220, which is really tight. It's like boa constrictor tight. A lot of athletes love feeling that tight burning sensation and how it works on a cyclic level to pump things up or push things in. This only goes up to 100. I like that because it's safe. We don't have to worry about compressing blood flow and arterial pressures by having, higher levels over 100. And it all has to do, if you have high blood pressure, so like high blood pressure, like 160 over like 90, that can be a challenge in trying to figure out how to use certain pressures to get the relief you're wanting. But the most important thing is it doesn't go up so high that it's going to pose as a health complication, which I like. Yes, you can use different pressure settings for each one. So let me go back here.
Yeah, that my ankle is only on 80 and my knee is on 100.
So her ankle, so we're at P1. I'm sorry, P1 is the ankle.
Yeah.
Yes, P1 is the ankle. And so I'm changing that pressure right now. We're going to go up to 80. Okay, so the ankle is going to fill up to 80 pressure. And the P2 is her knee. And you're going to see I'm changing it right now. You can see the light is blinking. And we're going to set it to 100 just because for demonstration purposes. It's going to go back to P1 and air up the P1 chamber to where we started. Okay. Okay, soccer player injured. Yes. Okay. So yes, a lot of injuries with athletes. We use this is we see a lot of individuals in here for athletic injuries, but we see a lot of everyday people who are coming off of total knee replacements or meniscal repairs, patellofemoral dysfunction, or osteoarthritis. So we see this in a large scale of individuals from one spectrum to the other. And so it's not limited to one person. So now we're up to P1 in the ankle. It should divert to P2 here in just a second. Boom, just diverted to P2. And so now P2 is her knee. And so it's going to inflate to 100. When it inflates to 100, it'll go up and down. So it's not just going to inflate and keep it there. It's actually going to do its wavelength of treatment. And then it's going to divert back to the ankle, which is P1, and maintain that pressure. So it's bouncing back and forth. So what's really cool is if you have one individual on one treatment table like I have over here, and I've got her on this treatment table, I can work on two people at the exact same time. Yes. So once you have had a surgery or once you have had an injury, there's always going to be some level of scar tissue developing. So it doesn't matter how old or how young the individual or the injury is, it's going to be beneficial for anybody. Yes, it can be used on somebody age 10. I would be more than comfortable with using this on somebody like age 4 or 5. You just have to use lower pressures for younger kids because it affects blood pressure, it affects blood flow and heart rate. So you just want to make sure that you're choosing a level that is consistently acceptable from a pain tolerance. If you use a pressure that's too strong on somebody who is younger or has autoimmune disease, those individuals are going to be much more sensitive to more pressure than others. If you are diabetic or if you have neuropathy, use extra caution, because if you have neuropathy or if you're diabetic, you don't feel the same intensity, if any, than somebody who has normal sensation in the extremities. And that goes for hands and arms, also goes for legs and feet. So if you have MS, your sensitivity levels are going to be much different from somebody who's got fibromyalgia, from somebody who's diabetic with neuropathy or has limited circulation. But for somebody who has high blood pressure and has limited circulation into the extremities, and you're trying to heal wounds or soft tissue that's inflamed, cellulitis, things like that, this is a great option for being able to work with a controlled setting in order to progress or accelerate recovery faster, accelerating results or facilitating the process of healing. So you can see that bouncing back and forth from the channel. Right now we're on the P2, so we're in the knee, and she's just laying back and chilling out.
It feels really good.
It feels really good. She doesn't want to leave.
I really enjoy these better than the boots.
She's enjoying this much better than the boots.
It doesn't get as tight, but it gets tight enough that I feel like the gel acts as like a barrier between.
So what she said is it doesn't get as tight as the Axis compression boots, the Revive boots, or the Thrive boots, which are air compression boot systems. And because the cuffs are on, not full length and full enclosed, she has the ability to control one for the other. But the other thing that makes it great is that gel wrap, whether it's refrigerated, heated, or neither, it has a cooling sensation. And so it's automatically cushioning and blanketing the area that's really sore or dealing with more pain. And it's calming that area while we're creating compression on the outside. So we got cooling and calming going on the inside, directly up next to the joint or the area of the body part. And we've got compression going on the outside, which is providing a totally different neurosensory experience from just having a bag of ice on with an ace bandage, if you get what I'm saying. She doesn't want to take it off, so we might be here for just a few more moments. Okay, so what are you feeling on the IT band, since you were carrying some tension there earlier?
It feels really good.
It feels good.
The pressure on it just feels good.
The pressure just feels good. So if you are at work and you are getting that restless sensation, or you're getting stiff and you're just needing a little bit of extra neurosensory facilitation or stimulation, however you want to look at it, you can use this at work from a seated position, you can from a lying position. If you are doing rehab in a rehab facility or at home for physical therapy, you can use it while you're doing your exercises. Really, really cool idea. Oh, looky there. Doing some leg raises. So now we're working pelvic floor, we're working hip flexor, we're working a lot of good stuff here. So we're mobilizing, we're continuing to stimulate. So pretty good stuff. Are we good? Okay. Okay, so now is a good time to ask any other questions. Normally, with this product, and once the launch price is gone, they're going to provide you with a link to order direct. And that's my personal link. If you want to order direct through us, it's going to go through Lifepro. You're going to get it super fast. I'm telling you, that's one of the greatest things about their customer service is you get the product like mega fast. You're going to get the launch discounted price today for $189.99. It is normally $249.99. And like I said, I've been using a product very similar to this for several years that I paid $800 for it. $800 for darn near the exact same thing. Same type of control panel, same type of cuffs, same type of gel wraps. So Lifepro has really come through and made it affordable for you to use a medical grade type product at home without having to spend the medical grade pricing. So again, other systems very similar, comparable to, no ice or water, no mess. Normally run anywhere from $400 on up to $2,000 for other systems. This one is launching today for $189.99, normally $249.99 through Lifepro. And I will tell you from experience in past product launches, our stuff sells out very fast. So if you're holding off and thinking, oh, do I really need this? Do I not need this? Or maybe I'll order it next week. It is going to, there's a chance that it's not going to be here next week because they only purchase so many units, manufacture so many units, and spread those between Lifepro and Amazon. And so once they're gone, they're gone. And I know like their Axis compression boots have been sold out for quite some time. I bought a bunch of those to use in my facility, so we're good to go. But if you wait, you're going to find a lot of our stuff, especially these really world-class innovative products, are going to go really, really fast because they're hard to find. They're hard to get a hold of. You're going to find on Amazon, there are going to be other manufacturers that provide something out there that might be cheaper, but I want you to value customer service and I want you to value education. I've been doing this kind of work professionally, licensed and certified in the medical field for 20 years. And when you buy a product online and you're not sure how to use it, that's half the battle. So you want to make sure that you're able to put the product to use in a way that's beneficial for you, for greater outcomes and goals. And as you've seen in this video, there are so many different ways that you can use one product that are labeled for ankle and thigh and make it a total body experience. And so the education in itself is worth, well, you can't put a value on that actually. We've thought about that from time to time, and you can't value education enough. So we are providing you medical experience suggestions. We're not giving you advice on how to treat yourself because we don't know your medical history, but we're giving you ideas from a medical level of experience as to how you can use all of our products for the greater outcome from a safety standpoint as well. And so that's the biggest difference. I do not provide feedback or information on other products that are available that I have not personally used because there's too much uncertainty behind that. So you're getting phenomenal customer service. You're getting a limited lifetime warranty, which really doesn't exist much in the industry at all. Even with the medical grade products that are $2,000, I'm regularly having to spend $500 to have my devices certified and maintained. And then I have to pay extra to have things replaced because they don't provide a warranty any greater than a year. And so Lifepro is hands down amazing. So, yes, so you're enjoying this. Now, I did see a comment earlier about how to use it on the arm. So let's take you out of your happy zone. So sorry. Oh, she's so disappointed. But you know what? She has me alter herself all day if she chooses to continue to use the products. And so we're going to move on and show you what you actually want to see. Okay, so just like that, we're off. So it's off super easy. Stick the wrap back in the refrigerator, or I tell you what, we haven't had one of them. I took it out of the bag. It's been hanging in the bag on the shelf for several weeks, and we've not refrigerated or frozen one of the gel packs yet, and it still provides a cold experience. Yeah. So that's the technology in the gel in itself. Okay, so let's go for an arm or an elbow. And because, again, the way it's shaped, if we were going to put this on the thigh, again, you got to see a little bit of hers earlier, but my thigh is a little bit bigger, so it doesn't wrap all the way around. That could be a bit of a challenge. It has a circumference of 20.5, but let's say you've got a quadricep contusion here, or a hip pointer. You're going to put the cuff face down over the thigh, and then what you'll have to do is you'll have to make sure not to strap all of it, but just strap one component of it, okay? So isn't that wild how I can get that to work from just putting my leg up there, and now we've got the thigh cuff on, but it doesn't completely blanket my leg all the way around. So if we're just wanting the thigh on top, if we have a strained quadricep, we're gonna put the gel, the bulk of the belly, down first and then strap under as needed, okay? And so there we go. But it doesn't enclose all the way around, as you can see. If we are trying to work on the hamstring or the piriformis, we're gonna go underneath like that, and we'll strap it on. I'm not gonna be able to get it up at the top because of how it's shaped on my leg, but I can strap it on down at the bottom, and I can sit in a position like she was, and it's going to provide the cryo support down here and up in my bottom. You don't want to like sit down on it with your booty, but if you lay face down, you could technically lay this across your low back as well. You're not going to be able to get it to strap all the way across, but you will be able to lay it down on the low back and use the gel wrap for low back relief. How about that? Okay, so let's go arm. So we're going to go like that. So we got elbow, so there's elbow again. So if this is more convenient for the elbow and you want to be able to bend, okay, we can bend. We can even bend with that when enclosed. So you can strap it on however you choose. The lower on the arm you go, the tighter you're going to have to make it in order to make sure that it's doing its job, okay? And so we do the same thing. We plug this in. We're going to go P1 channel. So we're on, okay? We're going to go ahead and turn it on. And we're going to go P1 to 60 millimeters of mercury and see how we feel. And what do you feel?
It's starting to get
now
glowing up.
If we have trouble with this sliding, then what are we going to do? We're going to sit next to a table at home and just let the arm rest. Or we're going to lay back and have the arm laying out to our side, airplane style or T-style, or down to our side so that we don't have to worry about it sliding down. So you can use it in whatever capacity you choose to, but so user-friendly, so versatile, so many great benefits to all of that. And before we go, let me see what my crew has here for us because we've got a winner. Who is our winner? I don't know yet, so we haven't picked a winner yet. That means I need comments. So give me #LifePro and whatever it is you think about what you're wanting to have this for, or let's hear what's your favorite thing about LifePro? What's the big, if you're looking at all the products across the board, what is the greatest benefit that you have experienced from being part of the LifePro family and the LifePro community? Because I think what's really cool is we all bounce off of each other. And like I said, although this is made to go on an ankle and a thigh, there are so many different ways that you can use it. But if you were to have bought it and received it at home and you're like, oh, well, this only goes on the ankle, I can't use this on my elbow. Yes, you can. You can make your own rules. You just have to make sure you're being safe. And so if you have questions about that, you can post it in our VIP group on Facebook, which only requires you to purchase a LifePro product to be able to show, that you are a customer, and then we can give you everything you want. Yeah, so we're good. Oh, that's really tight, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels really good though.
But it's not as high as it would be for a blood pressure cuff, because the blood pressure cuff, we're going to inflate to about 180 to 200, and then we're going to determine blood pressure there. So as this, the highest that it's going to go is 100, which is not very strong compared to some of our the other things that are out there, like the compression boots. I like the versatility of it. We're definitely using this in a lot of other capacities in my facility because why not?
Yeah.
It's gonna make people want more of it. Oh, Maria just did your yesterday's class and still feeling my insides moving. Yes, 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 yes. I love it. I love hearing that. And I love teaching you guys videos. That's, there's, I ask clients all day, every day, that are struggling with depression or they're in a slump in life. I always ask, What are 3 things that you can do every day without having somebody around that you don't have to depend on somebody? What are 3 things that you do that make you happy? Like if you can do anything, what are 3 things that make you happy that don't involve money and don't involve other people? And for me, I love learning and I love teaching or educating. I love singing and dancing when nobody's watching or even if people are watching. But I also love to heal others. And I don't have to have anybody that I know. I love being able to change somebody from the inside out and giving them hope and giving them the ability to dream bigger for a bigger, better life and giving them the motivation to kind of jumpstart in that direction. When I know that somebody has benefited from something I have heard, something I've said, something I've shared, even if it's just a hug, and they're having a better day and that gives them the opportunity to win their day and win their life, that makes me so, so happy. So when you are in a slump, make sure that you're doing things that truly make you happy, because we can't be happy all the time. And life is a roller coaster ride of ups and downs. And when you're down, it's really hard to come back up because gravity pushes us down harder mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So if you can come up with things that make you happy to raise you back up, it just makes life so much more interesting and so much more appreciating. So thank you for being here and allowing me to educate and read and share with all of you today, because many of you I don't know, but I love knowing that my abilities, my efforts and learning and in experiencing and in working can also benefit all of you for a better today so that you can win your day. All right, drum roll, please. Okay, we have a winner. I do not pick the winner. I just got it in from Lifepro. Chuck Malvin. Chuck Malvin, you are today's winner. Chuck Malvin, we are shipping one of these units to you. Need you to reach out to us and give us your shipping address. So if you can send Lifepro customer service a text via Messenger, or, oh, I'm hearing it right here. Private message us shipping address and email. So on your Facebook page or whatever, wherever you're tuning in from, go to send message, and it's usually through Messenger, and send them all of your information so that you can receive this within the next week. And thank you, Chuck, so much for being here today and for sharing your energy with us and giving us feedback as to how we can help you be the best you that you can be if you're needing that extra push for the day. And I know that they're doing some of these product launches throughout the day. So if you didn't win today with me and you want to give it another round later today, I know that there are other individuals jumping on board to share their perception of how they're using the CryoFrost with their clients and at home. And so you've got more opportunities to win today. But today is our special launch day. So $189.99. They're going to post a link if you want to order one today so you can get it in the next week so you know you get one. Make sure and order using that link. And we're super excited about moving forward with you. So I will look forward to teaching you all a workout next week. It is Friday, so it's the end of our Lifepro week as we do our lives. But I will be tuning in next week for another free workout. And I know there's several other of us between Roseanne and Debbie offering some different opportunities in the upcoming days. So make sure that you're staying tuned with us. And we really do appreciate you being a part of our Lifepro family. Have yourself a wonderful day. Is there anything you want to share? She wants to go so she can just lay back and soak up the CryoFrost.
I think if people think that, like, do I need this? Or, on the fence, you need it. Because it's probably one of my favorites.
And she's just experiencing this, but she gets to experience all of Lifepro products with me. And this is her first experience of even seeing this out of the box. So, game changer. She likes this one. That means I'm going to have to make sure that she's not fighting my clients for using it. Or that it actually stays here, doesn't disappear by accident, right? All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.